Go7 king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7 king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Hear me either. The microphone was turned off. Okay. Microphone's on. Now I need to hear the music. All these things have changed because of the podcast. There we go. First, looking forward to the stream. Fluff. Second. Fluff was second. Ah. Too slow. First like, though. There you go. Blame Humida for Neko not being second. Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm psyched because this is the start of a 3-day weekend. Party. Days of Verse. The Red James 5. Force of Nature live. It's a Kindle mirror. Oh, you're taking the night off. That's good. It's good. I know there's a lot of pressure to like don't ever take days off so that the community like doesn't have won't like abandon you and stuff like that. But I think personally it's very good to take days off. Especially if you're sick. We have our challenger. Yellow Comet. This is Force of Nature, yeah. There's some special openings and stuff on this map. You were just playing Hoi 4 before you got... I don't know what Hoi is. Here, I want to say Heroes of New Earth 4. I never played with Heroes of New Earth. You have to let me know what it is. Blame Human over there. Hoi 4? Ah! Even Elegatua doesn't know it either. Oh, no. Elegatua knows it? Oh my gosh. No. You definitely know it? He does? You sunk 900 hours into it? Does it start with heroes? And manage to end your turn without completing it. Only cap cities. Oh, that'll happen, Kibert. Yeah, sometimes you make mistakes. Yeah, Walker won't help you unless it's the server does it to you. But sometimes these things happen. You beat him today? Hey! Very nice. I'm glad you capture cities. Oh. Do I know this game? You have all of the achieves except for the latest expansion. It's super fun. What's Hoi? What up, Shoop? I'll look it up. You're not gonna tell me. Unless it's just called Hoy. Hearts of Iron. Hearts of Iron. I know that game, but I don't play it. You got a question, Savage? What's your question? There's 6 different Hearts of Iron Discords. Been playing since launch? Wow. There's no rounding for chip damage. What do you mean? If you want to learn how to play, you can watch 24 hours of YouTube tutorials and then start. You can know the value of chip. It just depends on what kind of damage rolls you're dealing with. Because sometimes you'll be like, oh, there's only like 2 options that could possibly have gotten me down that extra hit point, so I know exactly what the health is or close to it. Yeah, the Global League dumps. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. The number rounds up. You can think of it rounding up if you want. So 91 to 10 is full health. 91 to 100 is full health. 1 to 10 is a 1. You can also deduce that. If it was the reverse, then stuff wouldn't die. Yeah, you can math out the chip damage, and oftentimes you will if it's something that really matters. You'll go on your little detective hunt and be like, what are all the combats that this unit has been in? Banger map. Days of Plague versus the Red James 5. Kindle Mirror. In a live game? I've heard Days of Plague is kind of tearing up the live league, right? Content's a huge fan. Lash is best. I'm not the biggest fan of this map, actually. You've played so many matches here. I found like a lot of the games are very similar. It could just be how I was playing it, though. Your FFA is going well? Yeah, for OG Live League, that's true. I've been playing a game recently. So I could bring it up to my family to play. It's Songs of Conquest. They apparently exited early access. It was like a Heroes of Might and Magic 3 spiritual successor, is what it was advertised to me as. Reviews. I don't know if it's quite that, but it's pretty good. It weirdly has your mana based on your units. So every time your unit takes a turn, whatever mana is attributed to it is added to your pool, with every type of spell having its own special mana attribute. So the spells like ramp up as you keep fighting and your units survive. But I'm not sure if I like that or not. So, interesting. They added a new faction this year, the Heroes of Might and Magic. Heroes of... Welcome. Oh, Mom. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I didn't know that. Unless you're talking about the mods that added the pirates. You'll see yourself out. Why the heck I haven't even started? But Song of Conquest, I think it's worth. What's the... Oh, did they finally add the, like... Is it like steampunk or whatever faction? Oh, you're staying today. Okay. You added to the pool. Good thing you can swim. I see. Okay, let's start the game. Days of Plague is player 1. Then usually there's kind of like a mech meta, like mech arty meta to break this pipe seam. But we'll see if that's what the players want to do or if they have some other strategy to develop here. Both are going for this neutral base and then the follow-up city here pretty quickly. And then we do have the artillery and the artillery infantry over here too. So pretty much going down the same path. There's the mech. Artillery, hit it with the infantry. Do we have the mech? We have a recon infantry. Okay, so Days of Plague is going for the mech break, and the Red James is not. I think the mech break is pretty darn good. Oh, it's Plague loving the mechs. I know Plague comes from Days of Ruin, and Days of Ruin had lots and lots of mechs. I kind of personally, well, there's a few things here. If we go back to, I've called what's his name? Rip out on this same kind of I don't know if it's a mistake, but a missed opportunity where you can, instead of finish this capture, could go for an interrupt over here with well, actually I don't think the timing works out here. In the Rip game it was a much smoother play, but you can set this up so that you can break this pipe seam and then have your infantry go in to go for this capture anyway and get this nice free interrupt. Free-ish, because nothing covers it. But that's not going to be an opportunity here. It would take a little bit of a different opening, I guess, from Days of Plague there. Or maybe the Red James was just faster with this. I don't know. The Red James is going to be the one to get a nice interrupt-ish. Actually, this is really weird. Okay. So interrupts this capture, doesn't have an immediate follow-up. Well, I guess will. This infantry will be able to next turn, but not one this turn. To go for the lab strike and then back it up with the artillery. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aw. It would have been so cute if this artillery could have gone onto this lab, because then from here it would persuade this mech to not break the pipe seam, which would have been very silly. But interrupts this capture in order to go for this strike, which is really spicy. It doesn't even kill this infantry, and it doesn't like stop a capture while costing this capture. I don't quite understand what the logic is there. I'm surprised this infantry actually attacked. It might as well just back up and survive. But Days of Plague is going to build the tank down here, maybe expecting this artillery to wrap around. He decides to fire up here. Recon then finishes this guy off. So we are going to get 2 infantry kills out of this, although it only had to be 1. This pipe seam is completely untouched, though. So the Red James is kind of banking a lot on getting this faster attack to pay dividends, because having this pipe seam down for Days of Plague is a really big boon when it comes to reinforcing this area. And the Red James is not going to have that as an option for quite a while here. Okay. Mech strike. Wow, that's a bold artillery move. It's probably fine. Like, we could go artillery recon. I don't think that quite kills. It might. If there was artillery recon plus infantry, I think that would definitely kill. The Red James can't protect this artillery if that happens. The mech and the tank are both threatening to hit it, and it's next to a lab. That can be cleared off if the infantry decides to stand on it. So it would end up just being an artillery for an artillery trade. Ooh, it did get the kill. Okay. We interrupt this capture again. This might be a little bit... We'll see. It might be too dicey at this point to continue this interrupt, because now there's actually infantry around that can go after this. Also going in and smacking this mech. This infantry just get cleared off fairly easily, and then this tank can strike from the lab to take out this artillery. So we'll see if this works out well for the Red James or not. Ooh, this way, the mech starts getting some repairs. I think that was a pretty nice play from Days of Plague, the little rotation we saw there. Ooh, okay. Days of Plague decides not to interrupt this capture. I'm kind of surprised by that, since we do have the tank here, we have a mech here, we have an artillery that could stand on this lab next turn and continually deny this capture. So I'm surprised we don't see that interrupt over here. We do see one interrupt up here from Days of Plague. The Red James finally captures this city. We have a little tank traffic jam going on over here. Well, not quite a traffic jam, but they're bumper to bumper. Anti-air in response to the copter. Zooms as the copter. Ooh. It is a play going to utilize the artillery on the lab, and this is exactly where having an interrupt on the city would be so nice, because yeah, you have like this situation, right? The tank, it would continue to deny the city. Your opponent won't be able to heal from the city. I don't know. You're going for your first live game. That's great. Tank traffic jam because he didn't break the pipe. Yeah. Okay. The mech is getting some nice value. This interrupt ended up not working great for Days of Plague. The Red James still gets the city and kills off that infantry. Ooh, okay. We're going to try and break this a little bit. Looks like we're going to have tank kill this tank hit from the city and just try and overload the copter. The mech doesn't cover any of this, so that's pretty nice. It's gonna be mostly a trade of a tank for a tank, because the artillery gets to just wipe out one of these tanks. It should be a lot better for Days of Plague if this was denying the city doing this. I'm gonna stop harping on that. Okay. So interestingly, the Red James has more of an infantry cluster at this northern section, where Days of Plague is far more centralized with his. Which means that the Red James could potentially start getting some captures just purely through infantry might. And Days of Plague can, of course, use the infantry very well over here for body blocking as vehicles. We'll see. Copter unfortunately doesn't reach anything. I'm surprised. I am surprised that Days of Plague goes for this Urban Blight. What's it trying to do? It does hurt this tank for 3 and like this anti-air. And it's +10 +10 stats. Wow. I don't know, that seems like a really low value Urban Blight. It could be just live pressure though. I like this Urban Blight a little bit more because it's trying to deal with this artillery on the front lines. That's doing work. Down it goes. Tanks aren't in range. There's a 2 health tank that can try and hit this anti-air, but that's not going to do enough damage to save the copters. We even get a little bit of an Urban Blight value with this recon. Unfortunately, this recon doesn't get to hit the mech. It would love to hit the mech from this city. Just one-shot it, but it is what it is. Exchange over there. So yeah, I like the Urban Blight a lot more. Days of Plague looking a little bit dicey. The copters can... Actually, the copters... I was going to say they could overload the anti-air, but there's actually 2 anti-airs here that are covering everything. So if the copters go in, they have to get some sort of blocker. And that doesn't look super easy to accomplish. Okay, so it was... Oh, never mind. Okay, it's not the worst. I don't think this 2 health tank is going to stand up to just even the infantry attacks. So I think both of these copters die, but there isn't great support for these anti-airs afterwards. So the mech plus the tank are actually going to be enough to get some revenge, probably. Unless the Red James is able to kill this mech off. Which I don't think is unheard of. There's only 1 tile to attack from, but it is a lab, and we do have a 4 health infantry that might be able to sack in. So if we can go like 4 health infantry sack in, hits this down to like 6 or something, and then the full health gets to finish off, then that's going to be really devastating. Because then this mech is no longer available to hit one of these anti-airs in revenge, and this tank won't be able to reach. It would just be this single 9 health tank. You have 2 cities flip in the Red James favor. The mechs are breaking the pipe seam. Interesting. Well, I don't know if the sacrificial play or the sack play would have worked or not. But it definitely would have been a lot better than this one. I don't like this copter living. But it is what it is. The Calix didn't work on that. So sad. That's where chip damage would come in. I think it would probably matter a lot. The health of this 4. That might not be enough damage anyway. Urban Blight. This Urban Blight's a little bit better. It probably means that this copter can actually swing into this anti-air potentially. Oh, it just runs up here. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Spicy, spicy run by. Okay, Days of Plague is out of time. Didn't manage to build everything though. Okay. Infantry. Wow, I'm surprised. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess you don't really want to go in for like this tank attack. You want to go in over here from the infantry on the forest. It's just way too much coverage, so you might as well just smack the 1 health is probably what the Red James is thinking. Bring the anti-airs back. It might have even been prudent to have the one... No, you don't really want the 2 health and anti-air to go for that attack because then the artillery is too vulnerable. Yeah, I think that's fine. We do have a nice 4k income lead here for the Red James. Although, DaysOfPlague is actually the one that managed to get some captures going with the infantry on the sides here. So we'll see if this income lead manages to stay. And DaysOfPlague now is kind of stabilizing, despite being 4k down. We do have a nice charge advantage for the Red James, and I do like this. This is pretty cute, because there's only one tile to strike from. Whoa, I was not expecting this anti-air to go in here. I really like repairing my anti-airs. But it might just be... I think it's just to make it so that DaysOfPlague can't hit the artillery. Because if there isn't something standing here, then tank plus tank kills this. Actually, tank plus tank kills tank. And then tank gets a hit on the artillery. But it's still, yeah, this is going to definitely happen because the artillery is just going to get way overwhelmed here. Overloaded, there we go, that's the word. As you can see, it's got triple targets to choose from. So I did like how cute this was. The attack from the bottom here is just kind of devastating. The artillery is going to get one really good shot off. For Urban Blight. I don't think you even Urban Blight here, because the only thing that... I guess you could also get some damage from, like, attack from this city. Yeah. And that one. Okay. It's kind of, territory there. Ooh, no, the copter's sitting on the lab! Urban Blight smack. Yeah, that ended up being a really disastrous overextension. DaysOfPlague did run out of time there. The Red James is still up a little bit in income, but at this point, oh my gosh, the unit values have plummeted. Hey, the pipe seems down. Choppers get smacked a bit. DaysOfPlague still at 2 minutes. It's a nice trap on this recon. Takes out the mech. Hits the anti-air. Hits the tank first. Oh, so many good attacks. Yeah, this is looking like things are about to go downhill. You get this nice mech strike from the city. Kills the anti-air off so the copper can attack with impunity. Can, I guess, trap this tank in here. So, should probably trap the tank in. Recon goes down. Rest in peace, Recon. We knew you well. Still maintaining a nice income lead, but I don't think that's going to be for very long. Although, DaysOfPlague got a little overextended themselves here. You should be absorbing something. Oh no! It's all for fun. No worries. Glen Storm Cup is about to start. Pop. Well, you were playing a live, so I don't think it's unreasonable to say that you didn't have the time to look for the chips and stuff like that to make sure. Okay, trying to save these captures. I think this one still gets captured. Yeah, so don't even attack that one for sure. And this one does get saved. I think this just costs the anti-air its life, probably. Maybe it gets ignored. It does get ignored. Okay, it's not so bad then. Another really weak urban blight. What's it? Oh, it saves the city. Okay. I mean, saving a city, you can't go wrong with that. And the +10 stats, you know. There's worse things. Okay. And I mean, it does help with that, like, defending tank there. But James unable to reach that urban blight themselves. Oof. This poor mech having to stand next to a city like that with the infantry around. Urban blight at the end of the turn. It does hit a fair number of things. It's not so bad. And the +10 stats, of course. Oh, this time the Red James ran out at that time. Yeah, poor mech. Tank gets hit. Anti-air gets hit. Huge unit cannon advantage. And now that income is evened up. Do clear out the infantry over here is nice. That puts a lot of pressure on Days of Plague. There are a lot of low health units as well. Okay, I guess it's okay. It's a hit, like the copter can swing in, but you're like, it's fine because I've got the anti-air here, but I don't think it is fine, right? Because the copters, it hits you from here, and then the infantry just stands in the way. Oh no, this tank can clear it. Probably fine. The tank decides to stand in the way. Well, you get this kill. That's amazing. Wow. It would be a roll for sure. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Probably. We go for it. And we get it. Whoa. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a tough call. You probably have to kill the copter, but yeah, being forced to choose between the copter and the city like that. How many turns are left? There's only 22 turns. Well, I guess you can't let them take the city because you're trying to win by day limit. Yeah, I understand. What's that copter gonna do anyway? I should look at the Glen Storm maps. Is this music weird? What's wrong with the music? Some of the music on the playlist are a little bit different than the others. This is true. Sack for the Urban Blight to deny captures. Went all in on the win by day limit play here. I don't think this. I mean, day 30 is still a long ways away. I have that 0.75 speed? It's like choppy? What? Am I choppy? Let me know if the next song is still choppy. Is this choppy? Oh! There you go. You guys had to let me know sooner. I'm so sorry. No, what happened there... what happened there is, in order for me to have audio of other people talking on the podcast, I have to be capturing output audio. So in the podcast, I make it so I can't hear my own music. But then I came back to this, I was like, oh, I need to hear my own music. But I forgot to turn off the output audio capture. Okay, medium tank trying to make waves. We are going to lose one city here, which will potentially tie the game. More city is definitely seriously under threat, though. The Red James battling for the tie here. Can't stop this city, though, so... Oh, so close! That's why there's all these units are diving into the artillery. It's just to try and stop the capture. We'll probably see the resign here. Yeah. GG. So I kind of liked how the opening went for the Red James. Things really, I think, went downhill with this attack. I think the Red James will definitely agree with that. I like how cute I think what happened was this looked really cute to attack through here because it's like this huge bottleneck. But then just the other section of the map down here was way too much. I think there was one more thing. Oh, not killing both copters here I think was a mistake. Even though it does unlock this tank, which does suck just because you can't kill this mech off. Because you know for a fact that this mech is at exactly 90% health. It's a full 9. You can't strike it from here. You'd have to do... Yeah, you'd have to be a 4 health and then a full health. That probably doesn't even kill. You're not Andy. Aw. You came into the cursed Go7 stream. Right, Nova got into the music exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little tricky there. Get the attack into the artillery here, which kind of set us up into that initial situation anyway. I kind of like this attack though, yeah. It definitely paid dividends up top. But GG, that was well played. That was well played. Okay, we'll look at the Glen Storm maps after we cover the Rock Golem game that I was supposed to cover alongside the other one. It's on the same map, but Rock Golem is going to be in the other position playing as Flak. I'll do Glen Storm after this one. It's the War Room guy. Oh, you could definitely kill the 2 health. I think you had 2 infantry attacks there. Black attack. Mega Man, you still don't see yours on the list? I'll have to deal with that later. This map is an absolute legend. It's a War Room map Rock Golem. I guess we'll make it the penguins here. We'll play you in these war room maps. Usually it's Flak in the AI's position. And you get to play whatever CO you want to fight him. So what probably happened here is that the Grit player challenged Rock Golem to the situation and then was like, oh wow, I want to see what it's like playing Flak against you, and then Rock Golem chose Sensei. Phantom's 2 Sturm, please. Why Grit? They get to choose whatever they want. I don't know why they chose Grit. Probably because of the choke points over here. Okay, decided to go with the APC instead of a transport copter, which is pretty surprising. Transport copter can't fly. I imagine we're going to see quite a few aggressive vehicles here. And yeah, Rock Golem gets his base a lot faster than Grit does. Grit's going to have a lot of trouble in the early game here. Ooh. Well, what's nice for Grit is that this base actually gets captured, right? Yeah, because the recon could only make it to here, so the APC could just block. So it looks like Rock Golem's like, whatever, you just have that base. I'm going to challenge the top instead, at least for now. Got tanks, some more recons, some more air units coming out here. A copter standing on the airport, which is, you know, bad manner, but it is what it is. This APC is free to hit, so we'll see if that happens or if the tank's going to try and deal with this recon or not. Looks like we're going to go after the recon. Makes sense to me. Recon the recon violence. I mean, the nice thing for Flak is that you can just kind of go for those luck rolls. You're not going to take too much counterattack damage from a Grit. Yeah, that recon's not even going to be able to deny this capture. It's just going to delay it for a turn. Okay. And goes to finish off the other recon. Some copters flying out here. These anti-airs need to be careful. It's gonna be pretty disastrous if the anti-airs go down and you just got copters chasing down artillery. Huge wave of infantry. Moving on out here. This forward base got captured, but it's not actually producing units. There we go. It produced an artillery. It has to have an anti-air covering for it, otherwise the copters can eat it up. Gobble, gobble. Ooh, the copters decide to go for it anyway. There'll be one that goes down to the anti-air. It's a copter for an artillery, but it also lets Rock Golem lock the base with an artillery, so that's not so bad. And it looks like Rock Golem is currently just working on denying this base rather than taking it for his own at this point. Interesting. The anti-air decided to attack from the base, which does allow it to be actually shot with the artillery. That wasn't required. Okay. And it looks like Grit's going to try and come down here. The artillery can kick the other one out from a safe distance due to that extra +1 range. Huge numbers of infantry moving towards this bridge. Need to build a tank here. That's very close to the front lines. Oh, we do have our first infantry in range of this neutral base. I imagine whoever gets this neutral base is going to just win that front very quickly. Okay, we do have the artillery in range to deny. Although it doesn't actually work out here. Because artillery plus copter could definitely kill this. Or I guess there's a few options actually. But if artillery plus copter attack kills this, then this other copter can hit the artillery. And it'll just be a grit 7 health anti-air as the punishment. Well, these artillery are 1. No, they're 2 tiles out of range. Oh no. You'd have to use a super to interrupt that with artillery right now. You just use the normal power to clear out blockers though. Do we kill the anti-air here? It would probably come down to flak rolls. We can always fire with the artillery and find out if it's going to be a doable thing. Okay, Rock Golem decides not to do it. Back off. Join the anti-airs together to build a fighter. I don't know about that. I don't think you want to try and enter into a fighter war as Grit versus Flak. It looks like this base is going to get captured. Also, I guess if Rock Golem does go for the kill on this base, it does potentially unlock that normal power to maybe clear some blockers out of the way. The horror. That base does get captured. And this front isn't nearly as much of a choke point. It's still pretty choky, but not nearly as choky as over here. So, this could be dangerous for Grit. We also have a lot more units for Rock Golem, 50 to 38. I don't know if there's a unit count limit. Okay, the fighter does zoom on up here. There's no anti-air currently, but an anti-air can just kind of get built, so not going to enjoy that. Now goes the recon. A mega tank gets built. Well, mega tanks are pretty durable against indirects. I guess they're sort of beneficial for Flak in that they usually overkill most things, so the luck range won't really matter. But that is a very unhappy rocket. It's gonna take forever to get anywhere. But one thing that they're gonna really hate is that infantry can actually are like barely killable for mega tanks on cities. So now the Flak damage range might actually make this miss some kills. Looks like we are stuck at 50 unit cap because we're actually deleting some infantry here. Probably to build a tank on the front lines. Base skip killing infantry. Okay. Alright. Capture a bunch more stuff. Start charging on in. At this point, Rock Golem would love to trade stuff out because Rock Golem's at the unit cap while our challenger is not. It really sucks to delete your own units. You'd much rather trade them out and keep them below 50 units. Okay, fighter moves back. The rocket's almost able to fire on stuff. It is now kind of covering. I think the mega tank would have been better down here. It would have just had a very direct line across this bridge, running into indirects, doing its job. Looks like we're just gonna focus on okay, there we go. Now we're starting to attack in. Make use of those units rather than having to delete them all. Although I think some still have to be deleted here. No. Just floating 16k. Built another mega tank. Didn't build it down here though. We have a missile? This is a late missile. Snipe attack. We'll make it so this rocket can reach stuff. Shoot a tank down to 1. Yeah, the artillery did damage to the mega tank. With a grit. With normal power. Grit does not enjoy mega tanks coming his way. Ooh. There's no comm tower. But yeah, Flak. I think this one probably Flak should have gotten. But the luck. Look at these 1 health infantry holding the lines. The Flak gods did not smile upon Rock Golem this day. Okay. I'm surprised we don't have that mega tank rolling on down here. That's okay. Infantry just body blocking for the indirects for as long as they can. Rock Golem does have the super. Just gonna use the normal power. Try and get some good attacks in here. I was about to say you really don't want to use the normal power before going for any guaranteed kills, because you can run into situations like this where the anti-air is given the possibility to fail on a normally very secure attack. But that is okay. It's still a pretty nice attack in here. It's usually worthwhile to trade out units 1-for-1 with Grit's indirects, since indirects have a harder time reinforcing fronts. Try to go for a lucky swing there with the infantry, you might as well. Oh, the missile got the fire! Bam. This is something that all Grit anti-airs hate about life. Unable to one-shot copters. Ooh, focusing down the anti-airs of Rock Golem here. For the mighty Grit Air Force. It does make them into these rather nice blockers, though. Okay. More properties falling. We're at 32 income to 20k. That's pretty rough. We're gonna have a breakthrough here. Hit the rocket down to 2. Another little breakthrough. Get the anti-air built over here. I'm surprised we don't have a... I guess you can't... It's not as good to go fighter now that the missile managed to get into actual position. Oh, still do. Build a mech. I'm still waiting for that mega to just pop out here and start rolling down this bridge. The fighter is not out of the opposing fighter's range, and it's also not covered by the missile, so it's probably going to have a sad day coming up here. Now, fighters hit each other at the same power that tanks hit each other, so it's not like this fighter's going to die, most likely. Although a luck roll could cause it to. We're going to join the megas together, that's fine. We're not going to go for a super or anything. We're going to get a nice 4-9 exchange, which is pretty nice. That's just Grit firepower being awful. Do we get the mega tank down here now? Bringing some mechs. A rocket. Okay, and then a tank. I'm surprised. I don't understand why the mega's not rolling in here. I mean, if a fighter gets built and like blocks its way, that would be annoying. Maybe that's why. But yeah, even rockets aren't amazing against megas. They're so beefy against indirects. Indirect mega tank. Okay, well the walling off with air units is not going to work out quite so well this time. There's a lot of units that can actually deal with them here. Oof. The fighter doesn't get the kill. I don't think the fighter gets that kill except with a positive luck roll anyway. That was probably the opportunity to use a super. Rockle not interested though. Another wave of infantry. Mega? No, anti-air. Every turn I'm gonna be like mega. Okay, indirect fire. We still have a nice 12k income lead for Rock Golem. Start charging in here. Okay. Recon gets a nice luck roll. Okay, kills Recon. A little bit of a smack. Mega just takes a step forward. After some more artillery. T-Copter's trying to get very sneaky. Go for a sneaky HQ cap or something. Another mega up here. I don't think you need more megas up here. I think the wall's pretty well held. If the megas are split up, then Grit's really forced to split this front, and that's what Grit hates to do. Grit hates splitting fronts. World War I colorized. And Grit would also really not like it if Rock Golem was able to secure this base. It seems like a good target to me. Okay. Tech got kind of cleaned up there. And the counts are continuing. A little bit of a smack. Mega hanging out together. Copters retreat. This T-Copter didn't even move. It's extra levels of sneakiness that didn't even move. Super stall wall here. An anti-air would also be nice because it can one-shot these infantry. And there's an airport here. Okay. We do float. Whoa. We do float 12k. The map just went off. Super snipe. So you rarely see super snipes because they don't give you any more firepower than a regular snipe. It's just a ton more charge for another extra range. Does let them shoot this rocket though. They kill the rocket. We can see them kind of pelt away at the mega tanks, I guess. They're hard to kill with indirects. There are a lot of indirects here. They're at 1. Oh, one dies. And the other survives. Oops. Got hit. Stop hitting that baton. Ooh. Flak in with the brute force here. Normal power again. Really doesn't like using the super, huh? I think the super would be fine. On average, it's going to give you more damage. Helicopter still chilling here. Okay. Attacking in here is very painful. All the indirects fire. Bam, 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 bam. Grit starts getting that charge back again. We're gonna start actually attacking down here. Rock Golem resigned. What? GG. Well, I think this game would probably have ended if Rock Golem had attacked on this bridge at the same time that this front stare-off was happening. But I could be wrong. One of the only times you lost from the player 2 side. GG. I think once you're in this situation where you just go back a while, if you're in a situation where you're making 32k and they're making 20k, I think you just build mega tanks every turn and smack through. GG, GG. Okay, I just wanted to look at the Glen Storm maps, huh? Up. There we go. What do you guys see? Okay, you see this? I'm probably not joining this because, man, am I not a huge fan. I've been trying to enjoy high funds. Okay, maps and bans. Stealth and Black Bomb, of course, banned. Looks like it's a tier 4 game. Ooh, except you can play Sasha. I thought Sasha was tier 3. Interesting. Maybe they're changing it up. Got Moonshot as the map. This is for round 1. Interesting. So, okay. Player 1 must be Gray Sky. Otherwise, if player 1's not Gray Sky, then this is an absolutely busted map. So this pre-owned base is just it's just an FTA, a turn order thing. You won't ever get to produce from this because Gray Sky goes first and starts capturing both of these bases. The idea is that Teal Galaxy gets 1 turn of income off of this, and is behind by one of these bases by a turn because this will start a turn later, but this base will be owned a turn earlier. So it looks scarier than it is. That's just how that turn advantage is getting balanced in high funds. Since player 1 is going to get more money first. Sturm is banned on all 5 maps. Wow. So the interesting thing we have here is people's transport copters are standing on the opposing player's airports. So you could, I guess in theory, remove your transport copter early and get to use it as a transport, but I think most players are going to only remove it once the anti-air is in range. Is what I would imagine. And the anti-air can get in range pretty quickly, since the bases are right here. So after the anti-air moves a single turn, it can kind of scare the transport copter away, and then this airport can get unlocked. So that does incentivize a very early anti-air. We also have 2 pipe seams here for these bases, which you might see popped early. I'm not quite sure if the bases want to do it or if the opposing team does. I think the bases do, so that you have this nice triple base attack on the 1 base on the side. And if that happens for both players, then it will stop being a mixed base game and it will just be like this quad base against quad base split like this diagonally. And each player has 2 labs, so you can do this without losing the game immediately. Although this lab is mighty vulnerable, most likely going to fall. I guess you can use your naval units to block this. The one thing I'd be concerned about if you try and go for this triple base attack, which I think is kind of signaled in the map as the way to go, is that they could actually build like a black boat and be really annoying and block you on these shoals that your double base wants to take in order to attack here. And if that gets delayed too much, then you could run into a disastrous situation where your base falls and theirs doesn't. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. And the only harbors that can actually build naval units, which normally isn't something you consider too much, or build like combat naval units successfully, are going to be this one and this one, since this one's actually shoal locked. So it does make these pretty valuable. It also means you can go for some lander plays from this base, which does also make it a little more valuable to kill off so that they can't have quite that much reach from it. You could build a submarine, but it wouldn't have anything it could do except kill transports that came out of this base. Yeah, you could try to do some battleship play. I would very much be wary of the labs. I think we might see games where it's triple base tries to kill this base, or like they feign they're going to kill that base, but they actually just go for a double lab cap and win the game. Because if these labs both get attacked simultaneously, or capped simultaneously, then you don't really have that wiggle room to try and cap one of your opponent's labs at this to like stay alive. You could try and like build a black boat, right? And like come down here to capture the airport, but I don't think that would be very wise, because this airport is just doomed to die to these bases, regardless of if it's yours or not. The anti would be way too strong. This base looks really vulnerable because it's on the back of the map. It has a mountain on this front, so it's very easy. It just takes 2 units to stop this from being able to produce vehicles, or have vehicles like move off of it to defend. And artillery can lock it from very nice terrain across this mountain as well. So it's a very vulnerable base. If you ever come to the point where you're trying to defend this base with like a mega tank, I don't think it's oftentimes going to be worth it. Especially since there's going to be an airport coming after it too. So it really looks to me like it's going to be a base trade map. These 2 double bases don't have much ways of interacting with each other. Like the land route's really iffy. I guess you do have... I'll take that back. You do have some really cute lander plays. Like if you bust down... you either bust these pipe seams so you can get this harbor, or you just send landers from this harbor. You could do some really annoying drop-offs. If you're like, have your lander here, and you go one like rocket tank or something, or rocket medium tank, rocket neo tank or something, and you go like just right over the here. I'll drop my rocket off, or even double rocket. Be like, rocket. I'm gonna start locking your double base down. You could mega tank. You could drop mega tanks in their face. Feeling cute, might lander. You could do it here. You could drop mega tanks over here if you want. Mega. They'd have a single turn to respond, because that, if they don't see mega lander, then it's be like, oh, something's coming. Then they're in trouble. Something feels unbalanced with the starting income. No. It's fine. Yeah, so since player 1 goes first, player 1's going to be ahead on this base. Player 2 is going to be ahead on this base. Player 2 is going to have 1 turn with an extra income to help make up for the fact that it's because player 1 starts and it's going to be ahead in money, of course, because player 2 hasn't even had a turn yet. And then player 2 will go and they'll be ahead in money because they had this 1 property, but they'll only be for a single turn. And then things will go back and forth again with who's ahead in income for each turn. Because player 2 goes second, this infantry goes for this capture and then builds an infantry, but player 1 actually started with another infantry over here. So it's like this base is built in infantry already. It's very weirdly timed out, but it's okay. It's okay. It's mostly the anti-air buy. I don't think that matters too much. It might. I mean, the anti-air does free the airport. But I don't think you want to free the airport that soon. Because if you do that, you're missing out on a lot of captures with your very early infantry being denied. Yeah, since you don't build an early infantry, you're delaying all of those captures that the base goes for. And you're still getting income from the airport whether or not there are transport copters standing on it. But maybe your battle copter that you build out of this is like able to get enough harassment in. Round 2 map win rate is 75-25. What's the map rate looking, or win rate looking here? 44-56, but it's only 9 games played. 4 and 5. I mean, that's it's hard to get more perfect than that. Look at round 2. Amnesia High Funds. Looks like we're playing this at tier 3. Is Drake allowed in tier 3? I guess so. Or is this tier 2? This is tier 2. Yeah. High Funds tiers are weird, man. Yeah, Max is tier 2. Andy's tier 2. Who's tier 3? Wait. Javier? Rachel? Kindle? Wow. Alright. Amnesia. Okay. Red versus blue. This one has a very classic FTA start. Or FTA balance start, I should say. It almost looks like a fog map with just more forests. Yeah, Sturm is always tier 2. But Sturm's not allowed. You can understand the Sturm ban here? Yeah. Sturm would be pretty nice here. So what are we looking at? The lab looks pretty darn safe for both players. so many forests. The recon harassment seems kind of bad. I could be wrong. I guess there's some nice routes for the recon, like going up this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can't quite have a recon interrupt this airport without a tank on by stopping you. So that's too bad. Probably won't see too many recons rushing up this way, but it's a potential for maybe some sort of harassment. I guess this route also isn't so bad. I think it would probably be sticking to just tanks, though. The double base is going to take a while to come online. The single base is probably going to go for the airport really quickly. It's both part of a chain, and there's some really annoying terrain here, even for infantry to deal with. So transport copters will be really nice early on. Especially because the double base takes so long to come online in comparison that you probably won't see too many vehicles out to harass yet. The contested properties, I think it's just split straight down the middle like this. So most of the contested properties are in the north. Though these ones will probably be pretty contested just because double base is fighting base airport. I don't quite know what you do in the center here. You could go here, but man, is that terrain awful. And a lot of these contested properties are just so far away. So it looks like this base is probably going to be forced to continually pump up units here, while this one goes more towards the center. I don't know how you would get this lab. This is looking more like the kind of map where you look at the corner properties and you come up with a plan to own those to get a nice income lead, and then use that income lead to convert the game into a win, probably by starting to focus down this comm tower and take it. It's kind of weak if you have enough anti-air with you. The base can defend it in 2 turns, the airport can defend it in 1 turn, but it's gonna struggle to do that if you got anti-air coming from double base and some sort of like indirect of your own. This city's definitely primed to be a hot spot since it has 2 missile platforms on either side. What kind of CO pick would you choose here? Probably not Drake, right? It is a big map, so there'll be a lot of units running around, and maybe the global damage will be able to mess up with all the capture plans. But the airport seems pretty key. But maybe that's even fine. Maybe you don't even care. Max doesn't really like all of this heavy terrain. Von Bolt would probably be pretty happy. Von Bolt could probably take the comm tower nicely because your opponent's very much choke pointed in here for defending it. So a super could deal with any defending armies. Maybe Von Bolt could even take the lab for a similar reason. The Drake rain would be annoying. That's true. There's a lot of forests and plains. Yeah. I could see both of those working pretty well. What else do we have here? I don't think Rachel would like this map. She's also a tier down. Yeah, I don't think Max likes it. I could be wrong. Does Andy like this map? Andy might like it. That is a lot of defensive terrain. I could see Andy liking it. And if Andy ends up being popular, then suddenly Max becomes a lot better. If it becomes like a Drake Von Bolt map, then Max will not like that. But if there's a lot of Andes, then Max is like, well, even though it's heavy terrain, I can just firepower through his units. You end up going Drake and be sad when you see Andy on the other side. Alright. Round 3. Looks like we're back to tier 4. Got Lash. Cylindrical tubes. I think I know this map. Did I test this map? Or maybe a map of just a similar name. Oh, I know this map. This is a high funds map. This is like a... from the ladder, from the league. This is high funds. There's a few cute things you can do in this map. You can watch a true boss. I think it has actually some games on this map on his YouTube channel that you can watch. If you want to check that out. It does have some quirky things. Like you have this double airport. You start with one, and to go for the other one, you have to lock down yours by standing on it, which is a little awkward. But then you get double airport, and that's not so bad. You also have an incentive to get transport copters, of course, because there's a bunch of these little islands. Like this one you can't even get to with the black boat, so a transport copter gets you at least 2 cities right here. You can go for some early naval transportation with this harbor and this base to try and capture stuff up here. Just keep in mind that the double base will be unlocked over here with probably with some airport support. So don't get too attached to owning things over here. This is a city you could potentially lock down and keep. These ones also are possible to keep. I wouldn't get my hopes up high to control this one. You can try and deny it. You can try and delay the comm tower, but it is pretty tough to steal it. Just so you know. You're going to have a lot of fighting in this kind of area with some front switching, front shifting through the shoals, which can be dangerous because shoals are really nasty terrain, of course. Rockets, indirects in general are pretty nice on this map. It's something to keep in mind because out of this base that kind of leads into this middle area where there's a lot of fighting, you just have perfect terrain for rockets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all 5 movement, and they get up there pretty quickly. This pipe seam can also be nice to break. You can also, this is one of those that you can kind of threaten to break if you build like you're not threatened to break, but you can kind of trick your I don't know if trick's the right word, but you can kill this in like a turn and have like a neo tank on this city that they weren't expecting to be able to go through here. So if you have like a mega tank by, or you have some indirects, if a mega tank goes out this way and they're like, that only reaches 4, so I'm fine over here or whatever, and then with a rocket. And then the mega tank goes over here, one-shots the pipe team, and then the neo tank you had here can go through and hit the rocket and stuff like that. You can have some tricky shenanigans. You can also use a bomber to do it, which might be more likely. But this is a very rocket-heavy map. Classically. So have fun with that. People who are very familiar with the high funds ladder are definitely going to have an advantage on this map. Lash is okay. You can even get away with Grimm, I think. Jake will be pretty happy. I don't know. Maybe you could get away with Sammy. It is only a single lab that you have to capture, and it's fairly vulnerable. It would be spicy, but you could probably win with Sammy on this map. Adder banned. Adder is banned. I think Adder was usually the pick. Jake mirrors everywhere. All right, what's round 4? We got Icebound. Looks like it's tier 3 Icebound. Hey, Sasha. Oh, it's this map. I've covered a few games on this map before. Try and get it all in frame there. So this one, it can come down. This is tier 4, right? Yeah, okay. It can come down a lot to actually naval power here. All 4 of these harbors share the same pool, and this pool can overlook these labs. So if you get naval dominance, you can kind of steal your opponent's lab and win the game. Or not steal it, but siege it and win the game. There's also something to keep in mind with this airport that's way up here. If that gets delayed, because as you can see, this base has a lot of properties it wants to go capture. First, it wants to go all the way down here and get this base online, so it takes a while. But that usually means that only like 1 or 2 infantry end up going up for this airport. So if this base ends up building like a tank or something and actually delays or interrupts or denies this airport, it can mean that a player will be just out of air units for a long time, as it's quite the walk for infantry to make it up here. Yeah, so this is going to be I don't know if it's called heavy naval. It doesn't actually say heavy naval, but this might be one of the most heavy naval maps you'll play. Potentially, you don't have to go down that route. You can take a land and air siege on their lab, but in general on this map, you would expect the lab to be the win condition rather than just getting them to concede by beating up their army. There can be some nice artillery denies from this one base here. It's a very strong one base because you can try and deny and or protect cities that it's going for captures with over the water, which is pretty nice. So you'll probably have some indirects coming out over here, as well as infantry walking across. It's fairly common to see some tank harassment kind of swoop in down this way, kind of like you threaten down here, then go this way, as there will be some infantry coming out from this base to go for these captures, and the tanks have an opportunity to go for these interrupts here and or deny the harbor, which would be nice. Just things to keep in mind. It's a pretty fun map. What COs would I go with here? I mean, Kindle's gonna be nice. I don't think Sasha's... Maybe Sasha would be okay. Kindle will be nice. Javier will be really nice. I don't think Rachel is quite up to snuff here. Most of her supers will kind of end up hitting a single naval unit, probably. You can maybe try Lash. I'm thinking probably Javier and Kindle would be the main ones. Sonja bombers. Yeah, maybe you could get away with it with Sonja. It'd be spicy. All right, round 5 with the last one. Torn from Heaven. Looks like this is tier 3? Tier 4? Tier 4. Tier 4, but Sasha has joined us. And Adder's back. No tier 1. No tier 1 in the whole tournament. Torn from Heaven. Oh, we saw this map before, didn't we? This was in the previous Glen Storm Cup. You can't just repeat maps. Is it slightly different? Is tier 1 Hyphens the tier 2 Fog? Kinda. So I think we played this map in a previous Glen Storm Cup, right? It looks the same to me. Oh, was this a Discord Cup? No. I think it was in a Discord Cup and a Glen Storm Cup, right? Because I covered a bunch of games on this map. I remember there being like a bunch of Jake mirrors. Well, you can, on this map, you can really put a lot of pressure on this airport from the double base. That tends to be one of the first things to fall. You can also put a lot of pressure on the comm tower. You can also take these bases pretty easily. I would expect them to fall. There's these airports on the sides, which can very quickly lead to their defeat in combination with the double base. That is tier 1 high funds, yeah. It's a nightmare. Yeah. So you can, there's a few things you can try and do. You can either just kind of bully with artillery and tanks and the like, or you can try and go for some APC rushes out of this double base and try and like steal their airport or the like. This base is, as I said, pretty easy to take out once you've mustered up enough forces. So keep that in mind. Although if it starts building up some mega tanks before you've struck, then I would be a little bit wary. They can rely on these mountains down here to try and shield some indirects to defend captures and the like. But that won't really happen that much. Most of the fighting between the one base and the double base here is going to be down here with these triple properties and this comm tower. But in most cases, you expect this to die once this airport kind of comes online fully, with the double base coming in straight like that. You can even have triple base plus airport attacking, and that's just way too much to deal with. I don't think I've ever seen or maybe I've seen the battleships a couple times built from here, but I would be very wary about investing in those just because of the double airport being able to approach from all, like, pretty much all sides, all but the side that you control. So just keep that in mind. If you make it to this round, if you do, good job. You've made it to round 5. Since you'll never make it. What are the COs you could play here? Adder will be really good. Jake will be pretty good. I think this will probably just be Adder Jake, Adder Jake, Adder Jake, Adder Jake all day long. There's Jake's got the nice combination of move and indirect fire, and then Adder's got the nice extra move on air units. There you go. That's all 5 maps for Glen Storm. Have fun. I may or may not join. We'll see. Start date is in 7 days. You have faith in round 1. You got this. Okay. Next we've got Noob player. Noob versus ftiger. Lash versus Andy on Last Vigil. Global League Standard. Look at how tiny this map looks now. We're staring at that War Room map. It was huge. Glen Storm covered. Ooh, so Lash versus Andy on Last Vigil. You wouldn't really expect Andy to be picked on this map because it's so small. Andy likes the bigger maps with the higher income, so you get the big units. If you're just fighting a bunch of early game units, you don't generate a ton of charge, and the day-to-days have a really large impact. So yeah, I would personally expect Lash to kind of crush Andy in this matchup. You made it in time to view a game. There's a lot of fighting around these cities and around this like mountain and 2 cities, so Lash is gonna really like that kind of combat. Sometimes there's fighting around like the road and shoals, but usually it's actually going to be just the cities and the forest next to the cities. Lash seems a lot better than Andy in this case, but if Andy can kind of weather the storm and make it to the super, it should still be able to get something done. Yeah, it is a how does Andy possibly survive kind of scenario for sure. We'll see. So as Lash, you're going to want to try and bully Andy. And I definitely agree with Andy being like, you know what? I want to get this city now before Lash is ready to deny. Or no, it's opposite. I got these flipped. Lash is the one going for the city. Andy's the one not contesting. Okay, that makes more sense. It's fine for Lash to go for this. Lash probably doesn't have to rush it just because there's no way Andy can really deny it from Lash. You have a tank in response to the recon built. I don't think Lash needed to build a recon. You have an artillery. This is weird. Okay, so I would have expected Lash to be the more direct player here, and then Andy the one going with artillery to try and brave all of this heavy terrain. But Andy's super happy getting this city. And currently not getting bullied at all by Lash. Just having a nice infantry count moving in over here. This is not how you'd want to play the matchup usually. You'd want to do the Star Flash approach, which is kind of just madly rush both of these mountain double city, twin city situations. And just use your day-to-day to really out-bully them. Andy does get the 2-hit KO there. Recon will get a little bit of harassment. Although, well, Andy infantry lives. Oh my gosh! Andy living the dream. All units living at 1. The recon attacking from here does mean it actually does get hit by the copter potentially. Like so. The units do retreat. Get some more attacks over here. We have a mech that's going to be really slow to reinforce on that front. Andy just staying out of reach here. I don't think there's any way to... I mean, I think Lash can just stop this capture. Yeah. Okay, Lash is going to settle with denying this city, which I think Andy's honestly really happy with. Goes in here. Some more attacks. Already at a bar of charge. Lash is going to be a little bit ahead in income here. It does have a nice front shift in here, so that's good. There's no longer like a vehicle majority for Andy here, but it does make this lock on the twin mountain cities definitely a lot weaker, as well as denying this city. Oh, Andy went for the tank first strike over here, which I do not understand. Could this tank not escape? It could definitely have gotten away. Goes for the tank first strike. I would not have expected that. It doesn't have enough backup, I don't think. Lash has got so much stuff staring at this. But if Andy loses a tank, it's not like the end of the world. Oh, it died. If it lived the infantry strike, Andy would be taking that all the way to the bank. There wasn't a join cap here, so that does get interrupted. But these units are very exposed, so Andy will get to start clearing those up. There isn't actually anything in range to deny this capture, so Lash just kind of gets that. I did really like the start for Andy here, but it looks like Lash is transitioning into the middle game a lot better. Okay, the medium tank is on the field. You get to kill that tank off. And now that the medium tank's here and there isn't that much of an answer for Lash, and he's kind of looking fine on this front, but man, Lash is up by 3k right now. And another tank goes down. Another tank goes down, probably. Yep. You go in here, the artillery's in check, or in place. There's a huge mound of infantry for Andy just kind of chilling in the center here, but they don't have great targets. We're gonna attack the copter and then heal off the damage with the hyper upgrade. So we do have our Andy super. There's not that many units around to benefit from it. I do like this copter down here blocking for the anti-air. It would be pretty disastrous if Andy got to just kind of run in and kill an anti-air. We'll hit a tank down to 1, kill off this recon probably. No, decides to kill off 8 health infantry to hit. That's pretty decent. Ooh, the tank survives at 1. That's very nice because it stops the recon from dying. We do have an anti-air now. Andy got the first super. It did some pretty decent damage, but Lash does get to respond here. Looks like we're not going to go with a Lash super. Okay, we are going to go with a Lash super. Just wanted to do some attacks without it, I guess. Does kill off this copter. Medium tank's not in range of this anti-air, but there are 2 tanks here. Anti-air can't reach. You can go after this 4 health tank, though. This might not be the greatest situation here for Lash. I guess this 8 health tank actually had a lot of defense, though, just because of Lash super being the Lash super. Tank gets taken out. Medium tank goes in. Tank still gets to finish off. I don't know if it's really worth it, though, because killing this anti-air would be really nice. So I think I'd prefer to just have the 2 tanks do that. Wow, is that a... I don't think that's a great move. I think... I would have preferred if we just leave this tank at 4 health. The 2 tanks kill this anti-air and this copter goes over here and starts dealing with these infantry. Ooh, okay. There was the potential to try and dive in and get a hit on this copter, but it looks like Lash was not interested. And of course, we do have this really nice infantry push that's actually getting some work done for Lash. We do have the double swing on this medium tank. That's okay. I personally wouldn't want to go down that route for Lash just because it is covered by a copter and an anti-air, and it gives a lot of charge to Andy. It doesn't kill the medium tank, so you knock it down to 3. Andy starts getting up towards that super. It can go back to repair for a single turn, and on the next turn it can super go back up to full and get a really good swing in. That's exactly what's going to happen, it looks like. So you got to be really careful with those kind of attacks. Against other player or other COs, it can be more beneficial for that kind of maneuver, but specifically against Andy, that's dicey. I'm a little surprised that I guess Andy just kind of has to let this go because the artillery is too good. So while there was an attack to potentially deny the or interrupt the capture, it would be pretty disastrous. I would be a little bit it's a little bit dicey here for Andy to leave the HQ vulnerable, just because Lash is also kind of approaching the super, and that makes it very difficult to take an infantry off the HQ. So I would just leave this guy here and put the tank on the city, rather than put the tank here and the infantry on the city. It's probably fine, but just safety wise. So Lash is currently up 5k. So many low health infantry surviving. Okay, tank does die. That's good. This is not worth to attack because Andy will probably be able to... Okay, if it gets knocked down to 2... Oh, no. It only needs 4. That's just not worth to attack unless you can kill it. Because Andy's probably getting the super next turn. and that'll just get healed up. So many units sacrificed in. And yeah, the medium. Oh, the medium tank can reach this even without the super. That is probably not a good move. I mean, I guess unless you need to go for that attack in order to get the charge for the super, in which case do it. That's probably what's going on here. I don't know what the calcs are. Oh my gosh. What is this turn? Just the normal power? No, I don't think you can go for the normal power on this turn. If you have the super, it lets the medium tank hit the tank. And that's huge. It also fully heals this, and there's a lot of units that fully heal. If you use the normal power, what even... I mean, it gets you the city. But is that even good enough? This tank moved into artillery range. I think that was a little bit of a mess up there for Andy. Yeah, it was a mid-change of mind kind of situation. At least there'll be a decent amount of charge left over. But oof. Just losing that tank like that and not getting any charge for it. Oh no! There's nothing in range to save the comm tower. Okay. Lash does have the super. It's going to be a very scary super, as Lash is going to have the super and double comm tower. Okay. Prime tactics. I am amazed that this anti-air went over here. Prime tactics anti-air. I think you just kill a copter probably. At least the 5 health for sure. What is this prime tactics? Who prime tactics and then retreats with everything? Well, what's really annoying about the prime tactics for Andy is it probably means the comm tower survives another turn. But I think you're okay with that if the prime tactics does nothing. Andy unimpressed with losing the comm tower. Understandably. No. What? Andy uses the normal power here? I was like, okay, Andy's going to get the super pretty soon. I wasn't sure if the medium tank is in danger with the double tank copter swing, but I was like, oh, there's triple copter. This one gets to fully heal. You do not know what? This is just for the +10/+10 stats? I don't understand that. But Lash suddenly has a decent attacking force on this comm tower. You have artillery backing it up, which is nice. I'd be a lot happier with the Andy copters if there was a super behind this. Because then Lash can't really hit them with their own copter. Base is definitely under threat though. But not, it's under threat just being stood upon, not of being taken. Oh. Oof, oof. Oh, so painful. Down goes the mech. I thought it was in a safe spot. HQ's under threat. That poor 7th health copter does get taken out. I would say that Andy is not looking too hot here. Is now artillery locked. HQ under serious danger. Anti-air just moved one back. I think it has to move over here, right? Or I guess it doesn't want the copter to go this way. Okay. All right. Medium tank, triple copter, and tank. They are putting a lot of pressure on this base. The tank is being very cheeky and denying this anti-air access to hit these copters. This is where you feel a little awkward having your anti-air right here. But if Andy gets the super, then there could be a breakthrough. Oh, the copter went down from the 3 health infantry. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see this anti-air. Yeah, it just comes over and kills this copter. Okay, things are looking really dicey. Medium tank stares at medium tank. As soon as Lash has a super, this HQ is probably going to fall. Andy's trying to get a super here. But now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Andy super doesn't even get. Oh no, this infantry can clear this guy. Yeah, it's fine. Oh no, that's not fine. Oh, it's only fine if Andy gets the super, because then the infantry can go here. Clear it. Alright, there's the super. The mech unfortunately doesn't reach anything. But the copter does get to kill that anti-air. That's pretty huge. And we have the infantry strike here. Anti-air kills copter. Like so. That's pretty nice. Striking over here. Standing on the HQ makes sense to me. The double mechs threatening this artillery. Artillery gets smacked. But that doesn't mean the anti-air isn't getting smacked, so it's kind of okay. Lash backs off over here, then uses prime tactics. Trying to kill the medium tank. I think it's gonna live, yeah. I mean, this medium tank has gone on quite the journey. It's lived a good life. Okay. A little surround going on this tank, for this tank. I guess the anti-air probably can't with just 30 plus 30% firepower. That's not enough to get a kill on a city. You need 40%. Welcome to the infantry. That guy's been around for so long. Okay. Smack. Ftiger has been doing pretty well being so far down in income here. Medium tank is going to try and escape using the copter as a shield. I like it. It's very valuable for Andy for this to escape since it can heal up a lot. Although I think this anti-air can actually just strike from the city and kill it. Yeah, it does live at 1. Ooh. Oh, the infantry can clear him off. Pop, and then the capture can continue over here. Rest in peace, medium tank. You were a precious resource. Tank goes for the hit on the mech because it doesn't have a great alternative. It does mean this other mech is to smack it, but it is what it is. In conjunction with the artillery. Rest in peace, medium tank. You did a great job. Tank goes down. Anti-air hits anti-air. Copter gets some swings over here. Take a city back here for Tiger, which is great. This city also gets taken. This one is saved, although pretty at the expensive cost. The medium tank just gets to kill a tank here. Looks like Tiger is saving up some money. Might be trying to go for another medium tank. It did serve them well last time. And there are a lot of anti-air to try and strike. This is a little bit of a... No, it's fine. I was going to say it's a little bit of a misplay, but the anti-air does actually cover this. It's okay. I don't think there's an easy way to block access. Woo! 16-16 celebrations. This is the first time in a long time the ftiger is even in income, and is soon going to potentially get that comm tower back. Oh no, anti-air, no! That sucks. Probably shouldn't have gotten in there. Lash does get the kill on that anti-air. Andy can't repair it. Andy can't charge it up. Whoa. Anti-air charges into this? Is the idea hit there? Anti-air hits a mech or something? Okay. That's probably pretty good. It's still tank plus mech, but it's double anti-air. Yeah, I think that worked out. Fire. Smack. Continue to capture. Join cap it. It's still interruptible. Copter hits the copter. We smack. There's our medium tank. Good friend. You kill off that anti-air. Start sending in some infantry. You're leaving this. I guess you kind of have to because the artillery's here, but leaving this completely open to be attacked. This tank doesn't actually cover the copter. It's a little awkward. Copter goes down. In peace. Okay, ooh. We have a breakthrough into the forbidden technique. Terrain tactics. Recon. Interrupting on the comm tower. Copper does die. It's impressive that Lash has been able to hold this comm tower for so long. The medium tank can't reach the other medium tank though, so... Things could be definitely a lot worse for Andy, but man, was that a painful turn. You get some nice attacks. Mechs did survive at low health, and Andy does really like having mechs just because of that. They survive. They have a little bit more durability than infantry, and that little bit oftentimes is enough. And mechs also benefit a lot from the +1 movement of the Supra. We do lose the artillery over here, so a great breakthrough for Lash, although it's going to come at the cost of this copter as well, which is a very expensive breakthrough. We do again fall back over here. Probably good news for Andy. The anti-air goes in to hit this mech. I don't think... So, I don't think that's going to work out great, just because this... Like, you kill the mech, but this one heals up to 5, and then supers up to 10. So it gets a really nice revenge hit, and the medium tank can kill this tank, and the anti-air can hit this copter. It seems good for Andy. Like so. Bop, 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 like I said. Whoa. Okay, so the anti-air goes to hit the infantry, with the idea being that the medium tank can't hit me because my copter's in the way. It's probably fine. We do have the +10 defense right now from having the super active. So I don't think the copter can kill this with the help of some friends. It can with a medium tank help. Ooh, oh, the copter lived at 1! Andy's happy. That can be a 6 health copter later on. Run away! Exactly. Kill the copter off. Start attacking in over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Medium tank cannot get the swing from the city. It looks like Andy is going to finally get that comm tower back. Lash did get that income lead again, though. There's no anti-air over here, so yeah, the copter just gets to come in, take a swing, probably take the city. Andy can either have a comm tower, be equal in comm towers, or equal in income. There is no... there is no having it both ways. Medium tank can't reach, so yeah, again, medium tanks for Andy, doing work here. Double medium tank. You have to get an anti-air over here, yeah. Does try and save this city. We'll see how it goes. Tank strike, kill the tank. Hit the mech, kill the mech. Might live that. It doesn't. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Well. Okay, so Lash killed off a bunch of mechs here, which is nice, but it all happened in the range of medium tanks. So the trades for ftiger seem pretty good to me. So many 1 health units. I don't think it's very easy to get the super, though. Yeah. Super's not happening, but a lot of really nice attacks. Ooh. That attack looks like there was some chip damage research done. Or it's just desperation. HQ is in some serious danger here. Decides to build another anti-air. Maybe a copter would be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brings a tank over. Lash doesn't... Well, I guess it's not as much danger as I thought. Because Lash, while they do have the super, they don't actually have a full health infantry in range to start capping it. Anti-air goes down, which is tragic, of course. Ooh, this city does still fall, though. Very annoying body blocking. Space getting close to just dying. The artillery could, if it wants to, move into range to lock it, and it does. I don't know about this, though. I think if Andy gets the super, you kind of get blown out a bit, right? Andy does have 2 medium tanks and copter swings to go for over here. So I think Andy can get the super. Maybe not, though. We have the copter. Hit the copter. Oh, we're not. Oh, it still works, right? Because this guy can strike here. This guy can strike the artillery. I guess the copter versus the copter isn't going to be enough charge. So Andy doesn't quite get the super. Probably still okay. Not really, actually. A mech can hit here. That's painful. Prime tactics. Ow. Ooh. That sucks. Stand on the base, probably? No. All in on the HQ? Wow. But there's no point in deleting the units. Andy already has the super. Okay. Well, Andy has a super and has to stop this HQ from falling. I think it's possible. I think with the super, the copter will do a damage. You could also have maybe a sacrifice in there. Oh. Yeah, all you gotta do is survive, you know. Okay, we're going in this route. Oh, it doesn't do a damage. Oh, I didn't see that. Nicely found. I'm surprised that killed. That must have been a low health infantry. We did a damage. And now all Andy has to do is continue to survive. Survived a single turn. Builds a mech. The anti-air actually can't hit this copter without standing on the HQ. But they can try and block. They can like stand there, for instance. That copter decides to stand there. Okay. Nice body blocking. We do... I don't think that's enough, right? I think anti-air plus tank can kill this. And you get like copter mech to kill this. You got plenty to kill this. Anti-air can clear this. Oh my gosh. Does Andy somehow survive? Just like build some medium tank here? Lash, stop deleting your stuff. The game's not over. Okay, well, all Andy has to do is survive a turn. Oh, the tank can't reach. The tank can't reach. Never mind, I take it back. Well, if the tank can't reach, then it's maybe it is actually over. We do, yeah. No, you have mech sack. Oh, it lived at one. Oh, that was GG. That was close. GG. If it was a 5 health mech, it would have sacked. Lost my sack fail. You saw this live? Impressive. I'll give you guys one, because I have a 3-day weekend. We'll give you guys one more game. And I did spend a lot of time looking at the Glen Storm Club. OlstaSmash, Von Bolt versus Thavidu Olaf in Fog on Frostleaf. Oh, it's this map. We talked about this map a tiny bit on the podcast. The Benevolent Lord. Your question a bit higher in the chat. Wondering if I'd be interested doing those videos in the future. Hey Go, I wanted to ask you something. I was having a big discussion with Advanced Warrior about it. We don't really have a video about mental health / warfare in Advanced Wars by Web. We also need a video on retreating. I don't do too many of the standalone videos. I have some that have been in the works for like a year. Specifically on damage and health and going over like how all that functions. I just don't have the time for it. Maybe in the summer I will do some more standalone like tutorial like videos. But not right now. I just don't have the time. Those take a lot of time. They don't seem like it, but they do. I'll be working on it in the summer, I'm sure. You played 12 practice games on this map? You love this map? Good night, Mega Man. So this map tends to stall big time, but you have... Because there's like a huge no man's land, but there's very few targets, so it's very difficult to get something done without overextending. The infantry can sometimes get harassed because, as you can tell, the vehicles have a really awkward route for getting out of here. There's all twists and turns and forests and everything in the way, where the infantry are like walking over rivers, hopping in boats, getting places. There's an airport here, pretty nice to hop into and get battlecopters out and everything. This is Stalingrad 2.0. What? Get out of here, Matanek. So often what happens is that the map just kind of splits evenly right down here, and huge numbers build up on either side, and eventually an HQ tends to fall. Olaf, however, is amazing on this map. This must be the new tier 2, because so many units build up that the mass damage is going to be absolutely brutal. There's so many planes here that the land units get delayed in movement. There's going to be a lot of air units because the airport's so much stronger due to the terrain. And all the air units get slowed by the snow. The black boats, and even if you get a lander, which you sometimes do, that will also get slowed by the snow. So there's a huge impact when Olaf hits the super. And since there's a lot of money and a lot of maps on the, units on the map, you're very expected to get quite a few Olaf supers off. We do have very forward captures going on here. Looks like Thavidu is trying to get these captures in before there's any potential to interrupt. It looks like we're going to get at least this one, maybe this one. While at the same time, Thavidu has a recon ready to go for some harassment over here. This is what I was talking about, the potential for really nice recon harassment, because it takes so long for those vehicles to actually make it to these fronts. Like the black boat goes over here, it drops off infantry, but it can't drop off vehicles. Oftentimes you'll have people drop off infantry and mechs to try and ward off recon harassment. Looks like neither player did that, and Thavidu was like, whatever. If I get hit, I get hit. I will send my own recon, however, to go and harass, and that's exactly what happens. Which denies both of these cities. Very valuable recon. Pays for itself instantly. You had a game against Shoop where you built a lander the turn before Winter Fury? That is very sad. Can get a lander. It is oftentimes worth it to get a lander. Something to keep in mind. Ooh, look, I love that Thavidu took the city and was like, I am not going for this city. So many people are going to push for this city, and you know what's going to happen to them? They're going to lose their infantry. Thavidu is not going to lose that infantry for free. You definitely anticipate, or expect, I should say, more anti-air. Does go for this city. That's okay. It's gonna get denied, but it would have been amazing if Thavidu didn't even go for that city. You have a nice copter. Strike over here. It's something that's very expected on this map. Like I was saying, the airport's so strong. Honestly, this is like an insane copter attack because it is very possible at this point for an anti-air to be out, and it just kind of zooms on over and says, "Oh, hi there, pop." Ooh. OlstaSmash trying to get both of these cities. With a very aggressive move here. Thavidu didn't deny it. So OlstaSmash is actually going to get these. And be a hidden, potentially contested properties. Well done. Whoa. Whoa. I know that there's a mech here, but you do not do this. So, OlstaSmash might be thinking, oh, I kill this mech, and then there's nothing but infantry over here. They can't kill me. But these infantry can just kind of surround you, and then you'll die next turn. Trap the vehicles, yeah. Yeah. You don't want to trade your mech, trade tank recon for a mech. And that's exactly what that was. Here comes the anti-air. Really should have been here a few years ago, but here it comes. I think I would keep this infantry here so the recon can't run away, but maybe it's fine if the recon runs away. Ooh, the 1 health recon actually... I don't know if it's really worth it to send it in here, because losing it kind of sucks. But it does delay. I guess if it delays it for a turn and then you continue to deny it with the follow-up units, that's pretty good. Wow, this is so gutsy. OlstaSmash is like, you know what, Thavidu? You didn't build an anti-air until I hit you with these copters. Most players you go with these copters, they are dead. Just keep that in mind. You do not want to be attacking with copters on the front lines like that, with no idea what your opponent has behind. And it could be Thavidu is like, there's no way OlstaSmash is going to think I'm so ill-prepared to not have an anti-air ready. There's no way you'll go in. OlstaSmash had no fear. It even starts taking this comm tower. Okay, drop off infantry. Infantry, stand there. The copter, the tank. We're at the normal power. The super's not here yet. The day-to-day is you copy Combai's opening from a DJ's video. Nice. At this point, there has just been a nice day-to-day advantage for... Well, both these copters are continuing to strike in here. But now they're actually covered by a tank and a mech, so it's not so bad. And this one didn't like charge forward and hit this. By recon. Back in goes the anti-air. We do have another anti-air backing this up, which makes a lot of sense. You'd really like it if your artillery could cover for this anti-air, but it is what it is. And it's kind of fine to trade the anti-airs here. I mean, the copter does get there a little bit faster, but there's already a backup anti-air and some more copter, so I think it's okay. You're not going to get a huge tempo loss. Huge attack for these infantry. That was the anti-air, rest in peace. Vehicles attacking in here. A nice go for this. I like that infantry hiding out here. It goes for the city. Backed up with this nice attack that gobbled up a bunch of infantry from Thavidu. It really feels like OlstaSmash just has more vehicles than Thavidu right now. Ooh, Thavidu's going. This is definitely a I'm going for the winter period move. Smack in Winter Fury. 20k about? 30k about? Pretty good. Everything's damaged. Captures get interrupted. Copters were slower, but it still hits the tank. Tons be zooming on in. Get that vision. The vision's very nice. We have a Neo tank on its way. Trudge, 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 trudge. Somehow this is still going to work out for OlstaSmash at the bottom. Definitely overextended a little bit into Thavidu's comm tower there. Thavidu, take the comm tower. Take it. Take it. Start pushing forward. This can often happen if there's an overextension over here, especially with land units. This can often trigger these properties to flip. In this case, it looks like OlstaSmash is still going to be okay. But because the land units have such an awkward route to get here. Oh, OlstaSmash has a lander. No wonder. Yeah, lander's doing work. We both got kind of hosed by the snow, though. I missed the lander. The lander landed one wave before the snow. Okay. We do save the city. Yeah, I don't know if I would build a lander specifically against Olaf. Smack all the infantry. Infantry count getting low, 12 to 15. Ooh, a great find on this anti-air. Copter goes down. There, does survive at 1. Okay, is this? Oh, it's kind of out of the copter range over here. Yeah, I would expect way more anti-airs in this game. As you can see, there's a lot of copters. Ooh, Thavidu now joins in on the lander fun. It's a really awkward lander, though, because it's a lander with no vehicles to hop into it. Oh, we're just going to use the blizzard. Oh, the lander is going to be used as a part of a magnet, maybe? Is this really? I mean, the magnet looks like it's going to hit over here. Transports be crying. Don't go. If you're OlstaSmash here, do not go onto the harbor with your lander. You don't want to be paying those repairs. No one's going to try and snipe your lander. At least most likely. I think the blizzard was just to mess with the transport. I think you save for the Winter Fury every time, though. Ooh. Lumbolt doesn't use the super. It is a very expensive super, so you tend to like to save it until you have a pretty good setup for it. It also means that your opponent kind of has to play around it every turn, which is always annoying. Or is it a display of dominance? I think Winter Fury would definitely be the thing to save up for there, though. But Blizzard can definitely be good. I know I've used it to great success in the past. OlstaSmash is up by 2 cities right now. Ooh, this is... So in general, you do not want to lead your attacks with copters. I just want to... It's been working out for OlstaSmash because the anti-air counts for Thavidu have been shockingly low. But, you know, just keep that in mind. Not something you want to do in general practice. I also... Well, the copters are... Thavidu just resigns. GG. OlstaSmash. Just having a nice income lead, I think, is what discouraged Thavidu. And I think the Blizzard... If there was a Winter Fury coming up, I don't think Thavidu would resign here. But in general, it's not necessarily advised to spam copters against Olaf. That might be why Thavidu didn't have enough anti-airs. Thinking, well, you don't really want to go into a copter war against Olaf because when the snow hits, everything just goes downhill so quickly. GG. You'll say Javier versus Eagle was your favorite matchup on this map. Both sides hate it. GG, well played. Both players got a lander. I don't think Thavidu needed to concede there, but was probably really discouraged by the losing control of these cities. GG. Eagle can be wild here. That's very true. Okay, there's our bonus game. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I leave you with an apple. I hope you enjoy your 3-day weekend if you're getting a 3-day weekend. And thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's his thing.